Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 11th of January. Welcome to today's edition of Proline. On the screen right now, I'm McMorty and Scott Spreitzer. I'm Dave Koken, and we're going to talk about a couple of really good matchups tonight. Pittsburgh, Georgetown, big game in the early going in the Big East, and also the Magic and Hornets hooking up in the NBA. We'll take a look at that game as well. Scott, first time we've had a chance to hook up with you on this. I know you've been real busy with other things, live radio shows, for instance, that have created a little time conflict, but it's good to have you here, and I know you've been rolling along, haven't you?
Yeah, it's good to be back with you guys. We've been all over the place. Started at 5 in the morning sometimes, right through 7, 8 o'clock at night with some of these radio shows. But we're back, and it's been nice. I mean, got to admit that this, college basketball season has gone well for us at Smash Mouth Sports, and we're on this real nice right now road warrior wipeout run in college basketball. We've won 5 in a row at the time of this show, and we're 22-8 now with our last 30, which is about 73% against the spread. And we've got a fantastic offer going this weekend. In fact, we're going to have our NFL divisional game of the year, divisional playoff game of the year, and that's only $20. We're going to also throw in a big road warrior wipeout game of the month from one of the conferences, and as we look to increase that record and keep it going, get into 23-8 against the number. Fantastic success now with these plays for 2 years, and basically what we're doing is we're taking overvalued home teams and playing against them with good, solid road teams that come in a little bit undervalued. We've had great success doing so. Those are my favorite plays in college basketball. And those are all available right now at 1-866-896-1627. $20 gets it all. NFL Divisional Playoff Game of the Year, the Road Warrior Wipeout Game of the Month in college baskets. Again, 1-866-896-1627.
All right, let's take a look at this Big East matchup tonight. You get the Panthers, they're rated 4th overall. They're heading into Georgetown. Georgetown still has a top 20 rating. The first thing that strikes me, though, is are we going to see a repeat of what we saw last year with Georgetown, where, they actually, they have the reputation of being the big bad Hoyas. Goes way back to when John Thompson was coaching the team, but they're actually a team that last year, they got overwhelmed physically. They didn't like what was going on in the paint. They didn't play really Big East-style basketball, and, some early indications, Scott, they may be going through the same thing again.
Well, yeah, John Thompson Sr. was, pound the ball inside and take some 15, 18-foot jumpers. That's about as deep as they went. The Georgetown Hoyas that we remember from the past, and they banged the boards with everybody and as well as anybody. And now that they've come into Big East play, that's what we've seen. We've seen a lack of board work. They're not really working real hard on the glass. They're not distributing the ball inside. And they're missing their shots from the perimeter. This team is 11-0 straight up when they hit at least 33% from area code 3. They're 1-4 when they don't. And that's been the problem as of late. I mean, Austin Freeman has been missing shots like crazy. 5 for 18 in his 18 conference, in the last 2 Big East Conference games. And that is not going to get the job done. I like the Pitt Panthers, by the way. We had Tennessee, believe it or not. Didn't know Tennessee was going to fall apart after beating the Pitt Panthers, but we had Tennessee at Smash Mouth Sports in that game when they upset the Pitt Panthers, and they really took it to Pittsburgh inside. So here we go. We're talking about a Georgetown team that doesn't take the ball inside. They're not physical. They want to shoot the ball from the perimeter. You've got decent guards that can defend the perimeter for Pittsburgh and Wanamaker and Gibbs. And although they haven't played really well or didn't shoot really well last time out, they're still got other guys on the team who can take the ball inside and shoot the short jumpers and also take it in strong off the glass and get the job done in the interior. And that's what I think is going to haunt the Georgetown Hoyas once again here. To beat Pittsburgh, you got to be able to pound the ball inside once in a while, kick it out, and that's not Georgetown's method of operation, or John Thompson III. It's going to be a great game for the Pitt Panther fans as far as I'm concerned, and I went ahead and I jumped on Pittsburgh for this game tonight.
Al, anything in the database showing this?
Yeah, Georgetown's come into this ball game off a straight-up upset loss to West Virginia at home. They were favored by about 6.5 in that ball game. One of the things I like to do, Dave, I like to fade home teams if they're in a competitively priced game of 7 points or less, provided they're off an upset loss at home, and now they're matched up against a team with a win percentage of .550 or better. A lot of people think that these teams rebound off that home loss to have a good game at home, but actually they fall flat on their face more often than not, especially when they are not playing with revenge, which in college basketball is an important criterion for handicapping. So I'm going to take a look at Pitt here plus the points. I just think Georgetown's in this big losing streak right now. They failed to cover 4 in a row, not to mention losing their last 2 straight up. I don't want any part of the Hoyas until they show me that they can cover a point spread. I'm going to take Pitt plus the points.
I'm going to go with the same side. I like the Panthers in this game for many of the reasons Scott was talking about. Look, you've got to be able to bang the boards and play in the paint in the Big East. I thought the Hoyas might actually be better this year without Greg Monroe, who was kind of a finesse guy last year, and I know he's an outstanding player, and he's getting some time in the NBA with the Pistons. Looks like he's going to be a good player at that level, but he was not. I don't know. Soft, maybe the wrong word, but Georgetown played kind of soft last year. I thought they would ramp it up this year. They have not with the start of the Big East Conference play, and until they do, I think they're going to have a lot of trouble with teams like Pittsburgh who thrive on that kind of play. So Pittsburgh looks like a game they can win, and I also have to question Georgetown's confidence right now. I don't have to question my own confidence. It's been good. Love the big plays. My first conference game of the year goes tonight. Now, I'm selling it online. You can go to ProlineTV.com, and you can get the game individually for $50. And I think it's worth every penny of that. I think this is going to be an easy winner. However, there's a better way to get this game, and you'll get a lot more than that as well. I've got 3 conference games of the year on schedule tonight, another one tomorrow, and another one on Saturday, assuming the number comes where I think it will. And all 3 of those games are going to be yours for $33. That works out to $11 a piece, which last time I checked is better than $50 a piece, which they'll be online. So you want to get them for $11 a piece, $33 for all 3 conference games of the year. Just call 1-866-841-1655. Also, by doing so, you'll lock in to a special low rate for all my remaining conference games of the year for the entire balance of the season. So it's a good offer. Take advantage of it. Pick up a big winner tonight. 1-866-841-1655, the number to call. Let's take a look in the NBA, guys. The Orlando Magic, the reworked Orlando Magic, make a big trade. And they look like they might be a better team since they made the trade. New Orleans Hornets. Al, they started off the year 7-0. That was the high point of the season for the Hornets. They have not been the same team since. They've been basically about a 500 team. Talk about that game and also what you've got for a special offer for our viewers today.
Well, New Orleans has been the same team. They're just not winning the games. This is a situation where I don't want to fade Orlando until I see them lose a game. They've now won 9 in a row. Admittedly, it's been a pretty soft road schedule. You take a look at the teams they've played on the road at New Jersey, at Cleveland, at Dallas without Nowitzki, but they've beaten the best teams in the league at home during this stretch, San Antonio and Boston. So you really don't know what to make of this hot streak for Orlando. It's very impressive, but until they beat a good team on the road, I'm not willing to say they're one of the top 3 teams in the league, along with the Spurs, Celtics, and Miami Heat. But I think they're right there at number 4, and I just don't want to fade Orlando until I see them lose a game. Now, tomorrow they play Oklahoma City. That could be a real nice spot to go against the Magic, provided they win in New Orleans tonight. And even if they lose to New Orleans, I think it might be a good spot to go against Orlando tomorrow. But for this ball game here, I think it's probably best advised to stay away and just watch the game. And hey guys, I've got my Fortune 500 Club NFL Playoff Game of the Year. It's being sold online for $500. It's out of a system that's 26-2 against the spread going back to 1980. And for all viewers, I'm going to make it available for just $19. That's right. It's not $500. It's only $19. Call right now, toll free, 866-896-1628. My Fortune 500 Club NFL Playoff Game of the Year. We've already hit our Fortune 500 Club Bowl Game of the Year, our NFL Game of the Year, and College Football Game of the Year. And now it's the big one, our NFL Playoff Game of the Year, and it's only $19. Call toll free, 866-896-1628. Call now.
You know, Scott, we see teams make trades, and they can go in either direction. Orlando was a good team anyway, but they've gotten kind of stale. This trade, I think it made it better on paper. It also seems to have energized them.
Well, one of the things that you remember last time Turkoglu was with this team when they made it to the finals a few years ago, what I liked about that basketball team is everybody knew their role. And you had 3 players for the Orlando Magic that were 6'10" or taller who could take you outside and drain from the perimeter. They could shoot 3-pointers, they could shoot the long twos, and really unclog the middle for Dwight Howard when they went in that deep playoff run. And when they got rid of Turkoglu, when he went up north and the team kind of fell apart a little bit, they didn't have that situation where they could have guys shooting from area code 3 to loosen things up a little bit for Dwight Howard. We're seeing that. First of all, I wanted to say, kudos to the Orlando Magic. Hate that word, but I'm going to say it anyway. Kudos to the Orlando Magic for making the trade when they did. Yeah. They didn't sit around. They didn't wait. And you see so many teams just go, okay, well, we'll get them next year almost. And the Orlando Magic went in. They made the trade to get these guys in place. They got rid of Vince Carter, who's really made a great deal of difference with the Phoenix Suns. But anyway, they get these guys back who can really free things up a little bit for Dwight Howard. And what we saw in the most recent game, which was Saturday night, they would play for 3 days. But on Saturday night, you had a team that was really struggling in the Orlando Magic. They were down by double digits in that game. And Jason Richardson, one of the guys that were brought over in the acquisitions, he comes in there and he ends up shooting, I think he scored 14 or 15 points in the first half of the game. He was the difference maker because he kept them within striking distance. And I love Dwight Howard. He said at halftime, Coach was a little PO'd. And he goes, when Coach gets a little PO'd, we tend to listen. And the team came out and played a great second half against the Dallas Mavericks. One note also about Orlando, when they've had this amount of time off. They've been off for at least 3 days or more. They've covered 3 out of 4 situations this year, and it's the way they've done it. They've averaged 110 points per game in this spot, and they've only given up 89 points per game in those 4 times. Now, I know New Orleans comes up and they're playing great defense. I think they have the second best points against average as far as defense is concerned, tied with Miami just behind the Boston Celtics. But I'm like Al on this one. I cannot get in front of a freight train, man, of a locomotive going full tilt right now, and I'm going to go ahead and back the Orlando Magic in this one. And I agree, it'll be nice to see if they can win this game, maybe struggle a little bit, but end up winning the game, covering the spread, and then see the situation tomorrow when they match up against Oklahoma City.
And for me, New Orleans was terrific out of the gate. It's not that they turned into a bad basketball team, but I think there was just a boost during the season. Chris Paul was back on the floor healthy, and there's some excitement down there. And it looked for a couple of weeks like, hey, the Hornets might be in the mix as one of the contenders. That's just not the case. They're a decent basketball team, but that's about all they are. And I don't know, I haven't seen the same level of energy from them since that initial burst out of the gate. I can't disagree with anything you guys said. I mean, 9-game winning streak. There's a lot of games on the board tonight in the NBA and college basketball. The best you can do is try and end the 9-game winning streak. I might want to try something else. I'll side with Orlando as well. We do this just about every day now, all weekdays, an abbreviated version of Proline, and then we come back on the weekend with the full-length version. And we hope you're going to be joining us every day to get tips on what's going on with the current day's schedule, plus some great offers. You heard about them. Big games from Al and Scott and myself. So for the guys, we'll wrap it up today. Take advantage of the offers. We got some opportunities to make some real money out there in football and basketball right now. And we'll see you next time on Proline.